like juggling creativity and then science, if I should put it, it was a bit hard because sometimes you see so many things in the hospitals that you're blocked. You creative wise, you can't even. So one day I woke up, I'm like, which one does my heart beat for more? And I decided to put down nursing and then go full throttle on Diva Delicious, which is now Talensi. And November will be 16 years, so maybe 15 and a half years later, here we are. So that's how my journey basically started, yeah.
That's good.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, everyone. My name is Bob. Hello. Hi. Hello, everyone. My name is Baba Ankwa. I'm the CEO of Goba Kente. It feels surreal to be in this particular room because this is where I made my most difficult decision yet in my life. This room, that corridor, that's my bank there, CBG. That's my branch. That's where I left. So my corporate career ran from insurance, real estate, and banking. And the last branch that I stepped in was here. I did 2 years here. At some point, I felt I was failing as a banker because I wasn't meeting my target. I also felt like I had started something that was doing well, that needed my attention, but I couldn't give that attention to. So make a choice. My daughter needed me. I wasn't available because as a banker, I should be at work by 7 a.m. so I can have all the morning meetings. As a wife, I wasn't present because my husband was pushing for a second child. And these targets, meeting clients, I didn't have the luxury, so I had to make a decision. And in this very room, opened, sat here all by myself, alone in tears, drafted my resignation letter and sent it. It's been almost 5 years I made that decision, but I thank God to say it's also been the best decision of my life, yes. Thank
you. All right, hello everyone. My name is Mary Asantia Samwa, Executive Director at Barbex, a mining support services company. Now, talking about my journey, how did it begin? I wanted to be in the UN. I wanted to be Kofi Annan, that was the dream. So when I was going to school, I chose international relations. I was ready. I had a plan. And then after that, I decided to go and work in Washington, D.C., because, that's where the action is. Now, there was a month that my finance operations director needed assistance. So I moved from policy and came to assist her, basically just to help out. And then I realized, no, I like this kind of pressure. I want the operations, I want this. I don't want to be writing policies and stuff. So that's where the first thing happened for me. And then I decided I needed to go to business school because I'd been doing international relations, like everything was related to the UN. So going to business school, I wanted Harvard, I wanted Columbia, I wanted key places. And they were very nice to tell me that I don't have work experience, so, forget it. So my dad asked that, well, why don't you come home and work with me, get the experience, and then you can go back. And so that was the plan. I was going to be here for 2 years, get experience, and then move back to the States. That was in 2008. I'm still here. I feel like my father trapped me, but yes, so in terms of purpose, I moved back, and I love what I'm doing. I never went back, but business school happened, but I'm still here. So that's how my journey began. Thanks.
Hello, everyone. It's great to be here. My name is Anna Arkutu. I'll start with a description of myself. I'm a passionate, driven, resilient, and fun person. Yes, I'm married. I have 4 beautiful daughters. They'll say, hey, Mom, yes, I do, between the ages of 12 and 5. And they'll say, Mommy, you always mention us. And I know they love it. So I have 4 beautiful daughters. I'm a real estate agent and marketing consultant. October will be my 18th year in the industry, thanks to God. Speaking of purpose, I believe purpose, like you said, comes from childhood, and I was very big on that. So I remember when we were in school, before BEC, we're supposed to choose our careers. And I always answer so honestly. I'm an open book. And I heard one of my teachers said, and my friends are tired of hearing this story, that this girl, she doesn't know what she wants to be in life. But I think I knew I didn't want to fall in a box that I was being given. So real estate, I only discovered it through reading, which has been fantastic. So I'll just pass the nuggets throughout. Like, make sure you're reading at every stage of your life. So I read Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Most of you will know it. And the first thing I picked up from it was real estate. So immediately I said, I want to find the best real estate developers in Ghana and meet them. And then that's what I did. I started from Villaggio, Trasaco. I was there for 7 years. The goal was to be hands-on with my children. So after the second one, I started my own agency, and it's been great from there. It's growing. I will say I'm a lady with a dream. I'm not there yet. I will get there, but I'm building the foundation. So purpose really is, you know it from when you're young, right? And I'm very careful to make sure my children are also not boxed in. I knew from when I was young that I wanted to impact people. I knew from young that I wanted to do something with housing. I always had a dream that I'll build houses for lots of people. So when we are driving to Akosombo and I see lands, I'm 8 years, 10 years, I'm like, I'm going to buy this and build lands for houses for people. So I say I'm in God's ministry of housing, and that's why I'm a real estate person. There's a bigger purpose there. So purpose is always there. I'm very careful. My daughters, I'm like, I don't want to school to determine who you are. So much as I want you to learn the discipline of learning and doing well, I'm very careful to find what's within them. My first daughter is an artist. I've done a home-based art exhibition for her. My second daughter is a gymnast. I bought her gym stuff. I'm telling you that I'm being intentional, right? Because I don't want us to, it's so important not to lose yourself. My third loves to cook. She's 8 years. She can handle the kitchen. I don't need to do breakfast. And my fourth is just a cutie pie. I'm still discovering her, right? So purpose is from when you're young. Purpose is that thing that comes so easy to you that you think it's not important. And one thing that has been very helpful to me is introspection and connection with God. Did I start with I'm a Christian, faith-based Christian, and all my wins and all my direction has been through sitting back and having a one-on-one with God to guide me. And really, I've made lots of money through that. So I'll just sum it up. Purpose is within you. Don't look too far. Don't look at someone else. Believe in yourself. Be very focused, be very intentional about connection with God, because He will lead you to it. Don't take that for granted. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, so I wish you would go around before getting here because I'm very tense. I'm not good at this I'm a very shy person. Thank you.
You can hold my hand.
Oh. Anyway, so I'm Christiana Dankwa, head chef, chief cook, visionaire, and CEO of Chris Food Bank, Public Food Bank GH. And also the vision bearer of the infamous the Choba experience. So, purpose. I'm sure I have my class hearing everyone speak, starting from Harvard. Yeah, please. I am not. I am there. This pressure is killing me. The tension started when I was started from the boss. And I'm like, you at least start from here so that by the time they will get to the end, they will forget my story. A lady with a dream. I'm sure every woman, every lady is a woman. Every woman has a dream. Some of us are here and we don't even have a dream yet. I'm sure some of us are here today to listen to these stories so that they will be able to find. This is up in fancy neighborhood town. I grew up in a village. Find myself on this platform with great. When I I cried. I went to church and I was looking at the people that I was going to mount the same platform, like, God, is this me? Finally, I'm not there. I'm getting down. So Marina takes me to the White House to go and deliver. I'm not there yet. I'm still growing by the grace of God. So, purpose. This is me growing up in a small village. I'll tell you something today. When I finished my secondary school, I told my dad the job that I fancy a lot is women who work at the filling station. Yes, because then there was a new filling station in Kumasi called Unity Oil, and all the workers were females. So when I see them, until I had a baby, I loved to tuck in a lot. So when I see them tucking with the boots and the belts, oh my God, then I'm there. So I told my dad was like, me found go school go petrol. You know, a typical Ashanti. I'm like, that, share feel, like, no. It's not about the money, the tips they will give you, but it's about what you become. You are my responsibility. So what you become in the future is up for me to help you get there. So, well, I went to work with my uncle at a Metropolitan Assembly. I'll go and I'll sleep because I was doing everything so that they would sack me. And I went to meet one lady called Gifty there. God bless her. Gifty will just look at you and say, what are you doing? Get up, go and pick the old documents I have typed and start typing. I'm like, but you are done typing. I mean, you've presented it. Why should I type the whole thing again? Then I'll do it. And one day, a very fine gentleman walked into our office who became my boss, my mentor, and my father. Honorable Isaac Osei. He was like, oh, you are pretty. I would love to have someone like you work with me. I'm like, Don't be deceived. I don't know anything. So then the only thing that I was helping myself out with was Mavis Beacon teaches typing. So I was doing the game type so that I'll be a fast typer. You know, with the games, you don't want to lose. So you be fast on your fingers, right? Yeah. So fast forward, I got the chance to work with him. And you know the impression that growing up, when you find a very well-doing person to come to you that they want to give you an offer, the first thing that comes in mind is that, Opeme, he likes me, he wants to get. And this man didn't even make any attempt. I think he was just sent from God to help me move from that small cage that I thought I was into my destiny. So through him, he transferred me to Accra. I started working in Parliament, and then still, you know, I love to do business. I love money. That is why I'm Food Bank. So Food Bank doesn't mean I stole the name from the international, well, where they do food bank. Mine was anything I tied to bank is money. So I just picked food and picked bank money, and I merged it food. So today, you know how I came up with Food Bank. So I'll try and be quick. Because I'm coming from far. So it's not easy, you know. So, I mean, working with him, coming to Parliament, then one day, so when, sorry, I didn't get your name because I got in late. When she said, don't be scrolling on social media and doing nothing, you know, then it was only Facebook. What you do is you get to chat with your old mates that you left way back in secondary school. So one day I'm like, why would I? Because working with a parliamentarian, you don't always have a lot to do. It's just that they come to the office, order one, order two. You type it and he's gone. But I was like, what can I do for myself? I went online and I'm like, universities in Accra, because I was seeing some of my mates graduate from Legon and Tech. But when I type in my results, not in Bonsa, but there's some grades that it doesn't qualify you to go to Legon or Tech. I'm like, so where will I fit? I tried Central. They said admission has closed. Regents University, Methodist University closes next week. I just grabbed my bag and told my boss that, my mother is not feeling well. And I went to Dansuman. They told me, if you can write the entrance exam, because you have a C4, you qualify. So I took it up and I wrote the exam. I passed. So anytime, because my boss used to come to the office like 3 times a month. So instead of me sitting in the office doing nothing, then I would just enroll myself. So I actually finished my first 2 levels before my boss actually knew that I was in the university. Wow. Because when you call me, I'll be there. But I won't tell you because I was scared that if he should find out, he might fire me and think that, oh, I brought you here to come and work with me and you are going to school. But when he actually found that he supported me, I had my own challenge. I used to go and stand at Parliament and cry, unless I don't see a fine and be honorable. My fees, and they will help you. God bless them. No, it's true because me, I'll crack jokes. I'll follow you. And I'll be honest with you. I'll be very blunt. Sometimes when you see some people win, it's not every woman that slept with someone. There are real good people out there. It depends on how you put yourself to them. So when you go to them and you make them feel like you are desperate, you are ready to do anything, that is when you are being given such options. Is either you do it or you go. But me, I'll come to you like, Charlie, if you don't help me, God can take your money because I need it. I'll come and be very dramatic to you. Like, Mama, me why you mobile. So I will not be attracted to you. Like, you just have to help me and let me take my wahala and go. So by God's grace, I got some good people, Honorable Napo, Aquinas Kwanzaa, Diomi, those people, like, anytime you go to them, Christy, they be out to your school fees. School's no way. Because I have to take more so that I can even get money for my slides and all. So whilst I was in uni, I used to go to Kaneshi and get brooch. That's why I love jewelries. So it's not like I'm DBO. It's because I used to sell them, and then I had to put it on me. So when you see me on campus, I like your brooch. Oh, me Tombi. Then I'll just open my bag and sell it to you. Yes, I like your ring. Oh, I have some. Thank you. So I was doing all this. I finished school. I got the chance to work at Cocoa Board. Then to do my national service there. And let me tell you how the lines started falling in place. When I got
Christine, please, you give me a summary, quick summary, yes?
They have to hear my story, please.
Yes.
I'll sum it up right because myself I have to leave, sorry. So when I got there, this is the most important part of my life, so that you know that wherever you start from, it has a connection somewhere. And this is the summary, please. So when I got there, they were done with national service recruitment. And the boss was like, you are coming from Isaac. I said, how do I refuse you? But the place is full. Then he just had a call. But before I went, I prayed. I told God that if this is my place, give me a seat. So before when I was just about getting up, he had a call from the procurement manager. Mr. Timmon, when are you giving me a secretary? I need one because now I'm doing everything, blah, blah, blah. Mr. Timmon said, but you worked as a say. You are the secretary, so you can type. You can write minutes. You can do now. I said, let's go. And then he took me there. I learned a lot from there, but I realized that wasn't what I wanted to do. I love to cook. So whilst I was there, I was doing lunch packs. I'll bring you to the blocks, and then I'll come and tell you, oh, taste it is nice. And then I started. Wow, it's fine. I'll summarize it. So after my service, I was doing business, Lagos, bus. I'll go and buy clothes. When I come, I'll be fighting with my friends. Because when they buy, they don't pay. I said, okay, if I sell food, as for food, you have to pay before I serve. So that's how I started Food Bank. But they were not buying the clothes. And I realized that I had that passion in me. So I started making it a business instead of traveling to get clothes to come and sell. So that is my purpose. My purpose was that it had to come from somewhere. I'm sure I got inspired by a lot of people in Cocoa Board to even be able to bring out that cooking passion out of me. So thank you very much for listening to my long story.
Thank you so much, Christine. I think that story is very powerful because it just shows that, you don't need to have the father who can introduce you necessarily. You just have to have the resilience. So thank you so much. It seems that Miss Christina there, she's a big hustler. So on the topic of hustling, I want to go through a question at Baba. You call yourself a bona fide hustler. Hey, that's a very big statement. Can you tell us what it means to be a bona fide hustler in your career and why women should embrace being hustlers?
Simple. I come from a place that nothing was given to me. Unlike her, she actually met somebody who was kind enough to say that, I will help you. I didn't have that. Anybody that wanted to help me wanted to sleep with me, including family members. So you have to take care of yourself. Nobody was there to do anything for me. I'll be in the university, first year, 17 years old. My mom will call me that your sister needs Cerelac. Am I working? You are trying to feed yourself, and they are calling you that the baby that has been born needs Cerelac. How do you survive? So all my life, I've had to survive by myself. I've had to beg somebody on the road, listen, I'm hungry. I'm in the university. Can you give me fried rice to eat? Because there's no food, Mary. I've had to steal my roommate's money, 20 cedis, just to buy food to eat. I've had to go through a lot of things just to be okay. Things that would kill people that I know. So if I'm here today, I know a lot of things is based by the grace of God. And then my mom tells me that I'm my own prophet. So I should watch the things I say to myself. Because even though we came from that background where there was nothing, I always believed, some way, somehow, that mommy, I didn't belong here. So for example, first year, mathematics students failing, don't understand whatever I'm being taught because I'm hungry. But we vacate, and I tell my mom that I'm not coming to Obuasi because that's where my parents are. And what am I coming there to do? I will just be asked to provide, and I don't have that. So let me find a job to do. So 16, 17 years, moving from this boutique to the other, working here, working there. And that's how it's always been. The first person in my life that I remember sort of gave me a breakthrough was Boat Madufo. She was part of the speakers that left. I did internship at Ghana Reinsurance. So from there, our relationship grew, and then, oh, Baba, you want to do national service, right? Let me take you to Access Bank. I would say that's when my journey started. And mentors, meeting. So I love drama. Even though I was studying economics in school, every time I would run to the arts department to watch drama. So there was this man who speaks on air, Joy FM, Uncle White. I heard he was having an audition, and then I ran to the audition just because, again, I wanted to just belong. I went and I lied. I said, oh, I'm in the Action Chapel drama group, and I can act, but I can't sing, so if you guys would take me on. He said that, so one boy asked me, part of them, Ronnie, did you watch the last production? Were you part? I said yes. I didn't know that Ronnie was part of the drama group in the church. But that was my miracle. He said there and then something just told him, take this girl and take care of her. And all my life, he's the only man that would stand on my chest to say that, held me, encouraged me, go to school, take yourself seriously. You can do it. Even teaching me to believe in myself and in my abilities. That was that man. So it's been... It's hustling from day one to where I am now. When I still go back to where I come from, and I come back to my house, I just go on my knees and I thank God.
It sounds like being a hustler has helped you a lot. And I think that for the young women here, I think it's important to persevere regardless of where you're coming from. And these people are testament to that reality. In the spirit of hustling, I want to ask Anna and Mary a question. You are in industries that are historically dominated by men. In fact, I'll tell you the truth, Mary, I only know 2 women in mining, right? So the question goes to both of you. I want to understand, how have you managed to navigate an industry that has historically been dominated by men in a country that culturally also gives men a lot of respect? How do you do that?
Should I go first?
Yeah, I can go.
All right. So I think I think in my case, because I was working with my dad, maybe, people were more receptive because it was Mr. Tabi's daughter. So maybe I didn't get some of the negative things that people get when it comes to that. But also, it's joining communities like Women in Mining, because it's very intimidating. I mean, the guys know their stuff there. It's really male-dominated. It's very, very intimidating. But I joined Women in Mining. I think things like mentoring. I was held by Georgette Barnes. She trained me. So you have people who've walked the journey, people who have already been through some of these things. They teach you what to do, what not to do. And I have to say I've been blessed because the men have somehow been very receptive and actually taught me certain things. Sometimes you wouldn't expect guys to, be as open or to mentor you. But I've been lucky, even though it's been a male-dominated area. I think I've been very blessed. So.
Yeah, I would say I didn't see that problem. So maybe that's self-confidence, not knowing it can help you. And I think being excellent at what you do gives you that respect. So, when I started from Villaggio, some people tell me it's not your dad's business, not because of anything, but just because of how dedicated and committed I was. And I realized that it just kept my name going. So clients, I was high net worth buyers, so the name would be passed on. So, and even now, my clients that I work with, I work very closely with male CEOs, and there's just that level of respect because of the work I do and because of how you deliver it. So it says that kings will come to your rising because of your gift. So whatever you're doing, I'm sure that's exactly what happened with you. When you do it well, your respect is earned. You will not feel that barrier. People will open the doors for you. People will call you. I remember, so I do real estate agency, and then in speaking with the Lord, I realized I should do marketing consultancy. And as soon as I came to that, I got a call that Anna Fernandez, that was my name. I've heard you were great at Villaggio. I've never had to seek a marketing consultancy client, and I've been doing it for the past 6 years, and it's been great because of commitment to excellence. And even speaking of hustling is not always about coming from a difficult place. I'm not saying I'm a dada or came from the wealthiest home, but it's reading a book and saying, I like this industry, who can I go and speak to? It's speaking to the person and taking action and not feeling entitled. It's still being in university and deciding to go and work and learn when I could have been doing something else, having fun. It's picking yourself up when you fall, because there's ups and downs. I'm a mom of 4. There are lots of challenges. There's crying. I cry a lot. Wipe the tears, trusting God. That is a real hustle. So no matter what situation you're in, you have to say, in what way do I put in the work? And the Lord always, there needs to be a seed that will be watered. So yeah.
I told you guys this is the best panel because I'm really enjoying it myself. I love what everyone is sharing, and I think that this point of mentorship and people holding your hands. At Salter Chalet, we have someone who started with us at 17 years old and has worked his way from internship all the way to operations manager. And one thing I find very interesting about his journey is that his parents didn't understand why he was going to work for a travel company. And thinking along those lines, it made me think of Sandy, who is on our panel. Sandy, you left medicine to go to fashion. That is, I don't know, like in my household, I don't think my mother and my father would have that. They will drag me back to the medical school. So I want to understand, how did you manage to navigate that barrier? Because I think there's a lot of young ladies here who are probably taking a path that their parents also want them to take.
Hi, okay. Thankfully, my parents are very down to earth, very cool. They believe in following your dreams and following your passion. And I think also, when I was in the nursing industry, sorry, thank you very much. Well, when I was in nursing, I think they saw my struggle, and they've always known from day one that I was not the child you put in a box. They've just always known. I was always doing one thing or the other. I had so many passions and so many dreams. I wanted to conquer the world. I'm I think I was the boy my dad never had. So I was tomboy, going around with the guys, doing all sorts. So I think from an early age, they knew Sandy dear, so, and that's what they would say, Sandy dear, so, and my family is very, do what you love, and just make sure that you're not hungry, and do it with your chest, basically. So when I decided I'm not going to do nursing, they were a bit, and also one of the reasons why I did nursing was because I thought that if I travel, I'll do nursing. And, you always hear that nurses are doing so well, they are making so much money and everything. So, but for me, at the end of the day, it wasn't so much money for me. And if I wanted to make money, I would want to do it doing something that I loved. And I love nursing. Every once in a while, I volunteer. But it just wasn't for me full time. So, thank God for my parents. Thank God for the community around me. I'm very, very grateful. My family is the best, and they've supported the journey throughout. In the good times and in the bad times. There have been times where I was broke, and my sister would be like, okay, let me Western Union use some money. And, I'll pick back up and, go from there. So now, when I think about how much I started my business with 50 Ghana cedis. I say women, we don't talk about money amongst ourselves. So the guys get together and they talk about money. They know, do this investment, this is going on here. So we really don't know. But when I think about how I started with 50 Ghana cedis and what I have now, by the grace of God, I'm very grateful. And I know that, there's so many other opportunities. So, just don't give up on your dream and make it work. Yeah.
We thank God for parents who are supportive. So, Colette, I was going through your bio, and I think that one thing that I found very similar to us is this constant moving to different countries to pursue your career. So I moved from London to Hong Kong and now to Ghana to pursue my dreams. And I want to know, you are Nigerian living in Ghana. What does it take for a woman to move across borders to really pursue their dreams? Because I'm sure some people have some dreams of going into the UN like Mary once did.
It's a very important question, and I think I think none of us has really talked about marriage, and I know some of us here are married, and I think I will talk about marriage here because they say who you marry makes or mar you, and it's very important, very true. I think when I was, before I got married, I had about 3 marriage proposals that I said no to. Again, because I didn't see our values aligning, and I knew what I wanted from myself. We've talked about
Can I just
hustle.
say, managing director and a hot cake, huh? You give us some tips after.
Right. So we've talked about hustles, right? I came from a family that had, then we turned to not having, right? My dad used to work with oil and gas, African Petroleum at the time, now Forte Oil, owned by $40. But my dad left just before $40 bought it. Oh shit, it wasn't funny, So then, we moved from having to not having, so the hustle was really real. So I knew what I wanted for myself. So I wanted a man also who was not necessarily in business. I wanted a man who would support my dream because I knew what I wanted. I was going for it. So I'm thankful because 6 years in marriage, and I think my husband has played a key role in supporting, in supporting my career. I remember when I got my job at Pulse, I had to move from Nigeria to Ghana, and I was like, is it really gonna happen? And he gave me the biggest support ever, even more than my parents. He was like, what are you waiting for? That's what you've always wanted, go for it. So this is one person that sees in me what I don't even see in myself. This is one person that encourages me, my biggest supporter, my biggest cheerleader, my biggest critic as well. Objective criticism, I remember when I was applying for the role, we women, we have this, I won't call it inferiority complex, what do we call it? Imposter syndrome, right? Because we think we're not there yet. I remember because I was just rounding up my MBA. I was still doing it. I'm like, I have to have finished, gotten to one level before MD. Do you know what that is? And he was like, I don't get it. The people who have it, do they have 2 heads? You are one of the smartest women I know. I'm like, okay, Okay. And he really did encourage me. So I think it was the family around me, which was predominantly my husband. He really pushed me and he supported me. So I'll say to every lady who has a dream here, married or unmarried, if you're not married yet, in fact, that's the best time of your life. You don't know, because you have an opportunity to actually make a decision. Because someone proposed to you does not mean the person is your dream man, my darling. So that's the truth. So you need to be intentional to say, okay, does it really align? Where I'm going to, do I see this person in that same space? If it's not, then why? I remember one of my bosses, she talks about it, so I'll say, I can't call her name. My very first boss, she got married at 45. And she's so proud about it. I remember when her husband proposed to her at the time, I was like, hey, I'm getting married to a friend of 13 years, and I'm so excited. Because I told myself I'm a princess and I have to be treated like one. I'm like, okay, girl. And, amazing. She had the best wedding. She had a wedding in the UK. Her husband flew our family members there because she's like, that's what she always wanted. And so you need to know what you want. And when you get that, you get the support system around you that would help you push you to where you need to be.
How this panel is cutting across all areas of our lives, mentorship, to marriage, to, talking to parents. But of course, we need to hear from our amazing sister, Christine. My last question on this panel to you would be, what do you think has been the biggest challenge when it comes to pursuing your dreams?
Staff. Getting the right people to work with you. Especially in my field. Let me be a bit personal here. Food is something that you have to love before you even make an attempt to do. Even in our homes, you have a stove, you have a very luxury kitchen, but you end up calling restaurants. It's not because you can't afford the ingredients or the restaurant is cheaper than what you can make, but the stress, the hustle, the sweat. So, getting the right team to run a business, it's one of the biggest challenge of all. Even yesterday, I was so broken that my first A team, that is people that I can leave my kitchen for and come for an event like this, were not at work. And I was looking at myself having 3 events today, and they're not being sure whether they are going to come or not. So I was in town getting stuff for a project that I'm working on. I had to just stop everything and rush to the kitchen, get my hair nets, get my apron, and start working. And the funny thing, I'll always advise that whatever business you start, get involved. Make sure you know it yourself. I'll be very honest with you. If you don't know about your business, then don't do it. Don't look at how much you can afford, the logistics and the resources to do it. Just make sure that if it's kente that you are selling like Uba is doing and you are the CEO, when you see a kente that is not well woven, you can tell. Don't wait for your kente specialist to come and tell you that the lines didn't fall in the right places. So it's for me as a food person. Because yesterday when I got to my kitchen, all the people there, I can't even trust them to cook chicken for me. They can peel my onions and stuff for me. But who to put the ingredients together to make a very juicy chicken that I make, I had to do it myself. And the funny thing, when they heard that I was in the kitchen, this one go, Madam Abba. And before I could say, hey, they are all there. I'm like, so where were you? Oh, I was doing this. I was taking care of my kid. And a lot of excuses come up when they know that they are at fault. But as a leader, you can't get angry at that point because trust me, you can't sack them. If you sack them today, you don't have anyone to work with tomorrow. So sometimes you just have to find your own way and balance yourself to make it work. So my biggest challenge as a food person, and it's one story that a lot of food people don't tell, is our staff. Because one little mistake, let's say Marina hasn't tasted my food before, and this time around, my staff makes a mistake with my chicken. And the story is today is the only day she wants to eat only chicken, and the chicken doesn't go well. In her head, food bank's chicken is not good. You can't take that thing from her. You can send her tons of package. She might not even touch it. Why? Because of her first experience with what you gave her. So I believe that to be able to overcome such challenges, if I can talk about it, to be able to overcome, you have to be involved first, so that when you get up and the person who you trust so much to handle things for you is not there, you can at least do the first aid. Let me say the first aid, the first part of it, whilst you wait on them. So for me, my biggest challenge has been my staff. I remember my first year in business, I went for lunch at Asmera, and somebody introduced me to her. We're having a conversation. She was like, it's not the work that will make you give up on your dreams as a caterer or as a foodpreneur, if there is a word like that. But it's the people you are working with. They can make you just get up one day and make one decision and close up your kitchen, close up your stores, because it's like you are tired. You need the people to help you work. You can't have an event for 200 people and challenge yourself that you can't do it. Even machines break down. So for me, for the staff part, yes, it's my major challenge. And the second part is communication with clients and the people, even our staff. Communication such that you have a conversation with the client, they will tell you, this is what I want. You have a very long conversation. They will tell you stories about their mothers and fathers' background, everything, whilst you're having that same conversation. And give you examples who they used once and it didn't go well, and now they want to try you. And I tried this, the fried rice was terrible, but I'm trusting your fried rice. But me, I like my fried rice hard. You do it and they'll come and say, oh, the fried rice was too hard. Because that moment, they've had a conversation with you telling you that the last one there, the last experience they had with vendor A, the fried rice was too soft. So you are caught in between to give the person what they have requested for. You will do it and they'll tell, it was too hard. So that minute, you ask yourself, where did I go wrong? What should I do? You can be in between, they will tell you that, oh, okay, cry. And that's okay. So communication from our side is very, very, very difficult, because like an event, they will tell you are starting at 2. You get there at 2 and the event is starting at 4. Oh, caterer is there. I don't trust them. That is why I gave you 2. That same person will give you another event and give you 4. And you get there at, let's say, 4:30. I'm very disappointed in you. You are not professional. So it's like, the communication makes your work so difficult that sometimes you are being pushed to even say what you don't want to say. In your quest of explaining yourself, you say some things that you can't even take your words back. Because it's like, you are tired, you've done it, so what else can I do again? So for me, it's about the people we work with, and then the communication around you, your staff, and then the people we work for. That has been my biggest challenge, because if you don't get the right message, you can't deliver. And if you don't get the right team you can't also deliver. So these are my 2 major challenges as a group.
Those have been like really good advice. I want to just say thank you for sharing your story. So many powerful stories. I believe we have room for 2 questions. If you want to ask a question, please just raise your hand. We will take 2 questions. We have a question at the back. Yeah. Please, if you want to ask a question, just stand up so we can see you.
Thank you so much. You look so beautiful. And as a young person, or as young people, I would like to ask, what are some mistakes that you've made that you wouldn't like us to repeat? Thank you so much.
That's a great question. Unfortunately, we will just have one person in the panel take the question. Baba, you look like you're burning to answer that question. So, yeah, you can, yeah.
Okay, hi, thanks for the opportunity. Okay, so my question is, I'm always torn between, and I know it's relatable to everyone here. I'm torn between, should we take our time or we have more time? So I'm in level 300, but then when you speak to people who are higher than you and they have been there before, you hear them saying, oh, you have more time. And sometimes you feel like maybe your clock is ticking, but to them, oh, maybe you can just finish the school. After the school, you will find out what you want. But you see what Auntie Baba said. She was like, she went for the interview, and then that was where she found whoever will help her out. But then when you talk to some big people, they'll be like, oh, take your time. You have more time. You are just in level 300. Don't worry. And looking at it, I'm a girl. Your parents are already talking about marriage in my house. My mother wake up at 5 a.m. and come and sit in my room to psych my mind about marriage and giving birth and a lot of things. And I'm the eldest. I'm the firstborn. So should we take our time or we should just run after whatever we want?
So I think Baba will take the first question, and then Colette wants to answer the second question. So Baba, you can go first. Mistakes.
Yeah. One of the biggest mistakes I've made is listening to every other voice but my voice. It confuses you. It messes you up. That goes to say that you have to believe in yourself and your abilities. So if you think I look good in red, why must I call Mary? Mary, what color do you think looks good on me? And it's been one of my biggest challenges that I've had to deal with. Every other voice, but what I think, what I say. But I want you to know that your voice also matters. And what you think matters. And do not allow everyone to have a say in your life. The people that you decide to give room for them to talk to you, you have to choose them. So even if I'm choosing mentors, one mentor is not allowed to speak on every area in my life. I've assigned you to be my mentor on my marriage. If I need relationship issues, it is you that I'm talking to. If I need business issues, I have this person that I'm talking to. And people share their experiences. So, no, let me try to rephrase this. Somebody's experiences is not yours. So I would only share as much as what I have experienced in this life. But that doesn't mean your journey will be the same. Your path is different. Listen to your voice. Have people that you would listen to and respect. Because if you say somebody is your mentor, you have to give them that honor. But then you have to choose that wisely. So listen to your voice because it matters. Thank you.
Hello. So about the mistakes, I'll use myself. When I started Food Bank, I used to look at vendor list. And I was looking at brands like Valerie Lawson, Blaze, now Felix Annan, Fiona Foods, Mukase Check, and all those people. So I was asking myself, when will I also be on a list like this? And it was one of my, like something that I was always looking forward to. So I started getting closer to a lot of people in the industry. People that were not supposed to be my friends. So I used to go to Mama Fiona and go like, Mama, I want to do shooting. She'll show me everything. But instead of me to just go to that direction and focus and say that, okay, she's already in the food business. Let me just allow myself for her to groom me. I was going everywhere, being everyone's friend. Auntie Whitney is, she knows. I was being everywhere. Like, can I borrow the word? Because when I meet her, oh, hi, I'm Food Bank, so I did the food. Can I say, I was serving people, staff, security men. Like, I want to belong. It almost destroyed me and my brand. Because now, and when it happened, my father said something. So he stood outside my door. He came to our car. He said, you see this room? Open it. And he entered. He sat down. Get me water. I gave him water. He said, you gave me access to your room. You gave me water. The next thing will be food. The next thing will be conversation. You have given me space in your life. If I walk out of this room now and I tell anyone that I know you, yes, they'll believe it. Because I've been to your house. I have proof that you serve me food and water. I spent more than 30 minutes in your room. So then I know you. I can go out there and say anything. So for me, the mistakes are the people you allow into your life. Not everyone is your friend. Your mentor is not your friend. Keep it on that mentorship level. When you need help, go to them. Don't just because I was checking up, the person is not your friend. Don't go and check up on anyone. So that anytime they see your call, they will pick it. Because they will be doing something important, and then Auntie Whitney will see food bank call. Oh, food bank. Auntie Whitney,